Welcome, dear brothers and sisters in Christ. Let us dive into the Word. In today's Gospel reading, according to Luke, we read an account about a prophecy or a prayer by Zechariah about his son John, and also about the role he plays in the coming of Christ. Zechariah says, "And you, little child, you shall be called prophet of the Most High, for you will go before the Lord to prepare the way for him, to give his people knowledge of salvation through the forgiveness of their sins. This by the tender mercy of our God, who from on high will bring the rising sun to visit us, to give light to those who live in darkness and the shadow of death, and to guide our feet into the way of peace." I would like to read to you a very brief excerpt from the sermon of St. Augustine about this passage, which is very relevant to a lot of the suffering that we see around us today, but more so about the role of Jesus' coming and how it brought about so much joy and still continues to bring about so much joy in our lives. St. Augustine says, "You would have suffered eternal death had he not been born in time. Never would you have been freed from sinful flesh had he not taken on himself the likeness of sinful flesh. You would have suffered everlasting unhappiness had it not been for this mercy. You would never have returned to life had he not shared your death. You would have been lost if he had not hastened to your aid. You would have perished had he not come." Brothers and sisters, this is why Christmas is such a joyful event universally, all over the world. It is very much a representation of happiness and hopefulness and peace. And perhaps over time, it's easy to lose sight of what life would have looked like if Jesus never came, if there was no Christmas at all. So on this day, on Christmas Eve, while there's so much buzzing, so much excitement, and so much to look forward to, let us not forget why that is. Let us not forget what it took for this to happen for all of us. Wishing you a very blessed celebration with your friends and family. May we continue to remember the person who matters, the role that matters here, and that is Christ himself. God bless.